Hello students, welcome back to yet another lecture of atomic structure. If you remember, in the previous class we have discussed about J.J. Thomson's model of the atom and Rutherford's model of the atom. Seeing the limitations of J.J. Thomson's model, Rutherford came up with yet another model modifying the limitations or explaining the limitations of J.J. Thomson. But we have seen that in Rutherford's model also there were certain limitations which has to be overcome yet by another model which came after J.J. Rutherford, and that was Bohr's model. Bohr's model was trying to explain the limitations of Rutherford's model of the atom, right? Rutherford has some positive points, right, which was trying to explain the limitations of J.J. Thomson's. Right, in the very beginning we have seen J.J. Thomson's model, which was very simple, just like a watermelon, in which he told all the positive matter was uniformly distributed and somewhere here and there randomly electrons were embedded in the atom, but it was not as simple as what he told. He modified it and told that positive matter is contained in the center of the atom, most of the space is empty and electrons are revolving around the nucleus in a circular orbits. But its limitations was, if it is revolving continuously, as it is a charged body, it has to come near to the nucleus because its speed will be accelerated and electromagnetic rays will be generated, which will make the atom shrink. If that was correct, the atom should collapse, and that was the limitation of Rutherford's. So, the next model was Bohr's model, and he tried to explain the limitations of Rutherford's. Rutherford explained his model based on two concepts, that was dual behavior of the matter and quantized electronic energy levels. He explained his model by using a very simple atom. What is the simplest atom? Is hydrogen, right? So, by using these two concepts, he took an example of hydrogen atom and explained his model based on dual behavior of the matter and quantized electronic energy. When you say dual behavior of the matter, he means that matter, or most importantly electron in this case, is having dual behavior. One is particle nature and other is wave nature of the electron, right? Dual behavior shows that the electron, which has got particle nature as well as wave nature, with its particle nature it will be having its place in a round orbit or a round circular path around the nucleus, right? But its wave nature indicates that in that circular orbit it is not stationary. The orbit is stationary, but its movement or its movement around the orbit is not stationary. It travels just like a wave in the form of peaks, right, and that is the wave nature of the electron. By using that two paths, he told that in that circular orbit, its orbit is stationary, but its path is just like a wave, and there are many such paths or many such orbits in an atom, and whichever orbit is far away from the nucleus is not having any attraction by the nucleus, therefore it is having zero energy. Or infinite energy. Its energy will be infinite, right? It's very high, it so much so that it can remain at its place by overcoming the energy of even the nucleus. So, its energy is infinite, and the electron which is very close to the nucleus is having less energy, and therefore, it is having some circular orbits which is fixed at its place only, and that is called as energy levels. In every atom, according to Bohr's model, he says that there are different orbits in every atom. How many electrons are there? That is the next story, but every atom has fixed orbits of different energies, and for each orbit its energy is fixed. How many electron comes into that orbit, its electron will be already decided by that energy level. Suppose if the electron is coming into the first energy level, its energy has to be quantized to some value. Suppose this is first energy level. 0 energy level means very near to the nucleus, cannot have its own energy, energy will be 0. Next to that, immediately after the nucleus, one path will be there which is having its own energy, which is always quantized. Quantized means in the form of packets. First level this much, second level another packet, third level another packet, that is called as quanta. Right? Like that, energy levels inside every atom is fixed. How many atoms are present in that level, that is the next story. But what you should first know is each and every atom has fixed energy levels in the form of steps, right? At the ground floor, the first step which comes near to the ground floor is having some energy, then comes the next floor, then comes the next floor, then higher energy levels will be followed thereafter, like that. Second energy level, third energy level, like different electronic energy levels will be already fixed, and it is called as quantized energy levels. That means for each quanta, suppose nth level, NH by 2 pi, this much quanta of energy will be there for each level. If the first energy level is there, 1h by 2 pi, second level is there, 2h by 2 pi, so third energy level, 3h by 2 pi. You should not make it to 2 pi, 3 pi, 4 pi, it shall always be 2 pi, 1h by 2 pi for first level, 2h by 2 pi for second level, and 3h by 2 pi for third level, and each and every level has certain quanta of energy which is always fixed. In that fixed energy levels, if electrons are present in the very beginning level, if you start giving energy from outside, what will the energy in the first level do? If you are ready to give energy from outside, an electron present in the first level will try to take that energy, its energy increases and it tries to goes to the next energy level. But if electron went to the second level, want to come back to the first level, it will emit its energy which is high, loses its energy, comes back to the ground level, right. So, first level is called as ground energy states and the higher levels are called as excited energy states. Based on this model, Bohr proposed that for every atom like hydrogen atom and hydrogen atoms like ions, hydrogen has one electron, right. Hydrogen atom like ions means helium plus, lithium plus 2, like that. The ions which are just like hydrogen means even they should have one valence electron. He tried to explain this type of atoms very easily. Who are those? Hydrogen atom and any ion which has one electron in each. Who comes under example? Helium actually has 2 electrons, but when I say helium ion, one electron is lost and they are left with only one electron. So, such atoms which are like hydrogen are called as hydrogen atom like ions. So Bohr took an example of very simple atoms like them and tried to explain by taking electronic energy. Which form of energy we are using here is electronic energies, which are quantized and fixed, that levels will not change. You can increase the electrons, decrease the electrons, jump the electrons to the next levels, bring the electron back to the ground levels, that can happen, but the electronic levels will not change. This is the proposal of Bohr model, but like all the models, even Bohr has certain limitations. Hydrogen atom like ions, right? This is the explanation of Bohr model. What is its limitation? J.J. Thomson model has limitations, which was answered by Rutherford. Rutherford's model has limitations, which was answered by Bohr. The limitations of Bohr model was, though he tried to explain the quantization of electronic energies very clearly for hydrogen atom and other simple ions, but he was not able to explain the same electronic energy levels for complex atoms, means atoms other than them. Who comes under example? Say carbon, nitrogen, or even complex atoms having more electronic energy levels, how they are gaining stability, he was not able to explain. Larger atoms apart from hydrogen like atoms, the same concept he was unable to apply to prove the stability of larger atoms, right? Who comes under larger atoms? Apart from hydrogen like, stability was not explained. If larger atoms stability was not explained by Bohr, he will not be able to explain even the formation of molecules. When you say molecules, the minimum number of atoms it has will be 2, and it can even has more than 2 atoms in a molecule. So stability of a molecule was because of more than 2 atoms. How the same levels will interact with each other in a molecule, even that was also not explained by Bohr. Formation of molecules and its stability. And its electronic levels, its electronic energy levels. All these 3 points, formation of molecules, its stability, its electronic energy levels, was not explained. Was not explained by Bohr, right? So these are the 3 different models of atoms. Each of them has got certain limitations, which was tried to be overcome by the other model. Till this model, the Bohr model, which has used hydrogen atom, he took an example of hydrogen atom, and till now what we have seen is on what basis Bohr has explained his model. Let us now apply the same model on hydrogen atom by by seeing the line spectrum of hydrogen atom. By seeing the line spectrum. Based on this only, because of this reason only, he took hydrogen atom as an example and explained this concept. Spectrum. right? Spectrum, when you say, is nothing but series of different wavelengths. When a light rays are passed in the form of, suppose, white light. When you pass white light into a prism, what happens is, after coming out after the prism, it separates in the form of a band of wavelength having different frequencies, right? That set of rays having, each of them has its own frequency and its own wavelength, spreads or divides itself in the form of a series of light waves, that is called as band of light or spectrum, which is continuous band of light which is emitted and divided. It gets divided. In the white light all of them are together, but here it gets divided and it is called as band of light or continuous light or also spectrum, right? Using this concept, these waves which are getting divided or these frequencies which are getting divided, what happens to them if it is falling on hydrogen atom, right? Each of them has one line in the spectrum. That lines are called as different lines or series. Lyman series, Balmer, Paschen, Brackett and P-Fund series, right? In the spectrum, what I told was, each line of the spectrum has its own wavelength, therefore its own color. First series will fall under a range of electromagnetic waves which has its own color or visibility, other has its own color and visibility, and all of them has its own wavelengths and its own frequencies, right? So, the same thing is applied according to Bohr model. What it says? Electronic energy levels will be there, right? First electronic level, let us start from the bottom because the energy levels are quantized. The second energy levels, the moment you go from first to higher energy levels, the energy gap between each level goes on decreasing, and that is only the meaning of quantized energy levels. E3, E4, E5 and it continues further. In each atom that many energy levels are there. How many electrons? That is next question, but energy levels will be there. So many energy levels will be there in each and every atom, and when you give light or when the light falls on the atom, what it does is it absorbs the radiation, and using that energy, what happens is an electron which was on the ground state, the first energy level is called as ground energy state and the higher levels are called as excited state, right? Suppose this is all this from second till infinite, all of them are called as excited states only. But in that excited state, second is the first excited state, third is the second excited state, fourth is the third excited state, and the same continues, right? So, now the in the hydrogen atom, where will the electron be? In the ground energy state only, because in hydrogen atom there is only one electron. If light is irradiated, what happens is electron present in the ground state takes that energy, goes to the excited states. It can go to the first excited state or it can go to the second or third or fourth, right? Higher excited states it will go. Once it goes to the excited state, so now line spectrum, which the diagram of line spectrum I told is not what you are giving. The line spectrum means after giving the energy, what is emitted is called as line spectrum, right? So, the line spectrum comes, if you give energy, they take that energy, goes up. while coming back after going up, whether it goes to the first excited state or second or third or fourth, once it goes to the excited state, it may stay there for a while but not for longer period of time. At the excited state, if someone becomes excited, they may be excited for some duration of time. Someone can be for longer duration and someone can be for lesser duration of time, but excited state is not a temporary state. For after some duration of time, excited state has to come back to the ground state. Same way, even electron also, once it went to the excited state, it tries to come back to the ground state. So, while coming back at the ground state, coming to ground state means energy should decrease. That energy is emitted. Suppose it is here, it emits its energy and comes back to the ground state. It emits its energy and comes back to this excited state. It emits its energy and comes back to this excited state, or less energy means this excited state only, right? So, now like that will happen. Next, these are different series, right? So, for each and every series, what happens is its wavelength changes and what will be the region in which it falls, accordingly it is named as Lyman, Balmer and the other names, right? So, now electron can come back from this excited state to the simple here by emitting less energy, or here by emitting a little more energy, or here by emitting even higher, or here all its energy will be emitted. So, now let us take each and every individually, right? Coming to the ground state, okay. First state is ground state. To the ground state, electron can come from the above excited states, right? Sometime electron was here only, it is coming back to the ground state, right? Sometime electron was here, coming back to the ground state. Sometimes electron was here, coming back to the ground state. Directly all the way from here to 1. Electron was here, coming back to the ground state, right? They were above they were in the above energy levels, but finally coming where? To the ground state, E1 level, right? This series of energy has got a range in electromagnetic waves, which is, what is the ground state? E1, right? Coming from where? E1 is first energy level and E2 is higher energy. E1 is ground energy levels, E2 is higher energies, right? Higher, lower, lower, higher. Lower is always first, higher can be from second to first, from third to first, from fourth to first, from fifth to first. So, it can be second, third, fourth, fifth, right? It falls under which region of the electromagnetic waves? Is Lyman series falls under UV range, ultraviolet range, right? This is called as Lyman series. Can you see that Lyman series? Ultraviolet range means it is not visible, right? Coming to the next series, right? In the next series, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In the next series is the lower energy state itself is second. So, to come to second, it may start from third to second, it may start from fourth to second, it may start from 5th to 2nd, or it may even start from 6th to 2nd. Who is the lower energy here? Lower energy itself is 2nd. Higher energy can be greater than 2nd, which is 3rd or 4th or 5th. And this energy waves fall under which region is? This energy waves fall under Balmer series, and it is in visible region, because between first and second the energy difference is more. I told from second it starts to decrease, right? If this level decreases, if energy decreases, wavelength increases, and you can see with your own eye. Therefore, the second series falls under visible region. You can see visible region, which is Balmer series. Lyman series you cannot see, and the series which comes after Balmer series also you cannot see, but let us look at which series comes under Balmer series, right? So, Balmer series means it has to come to second level. From where? From 3rd to 2nd, or from 4th to 2nd, or from 5th to 2nd, or from 6th to 2nd, right? The next series is which series? I told Paschen series. Paschen series means from higher energy states it has to come to 3rd. From where to 3rd? It can come from 4th to 3rd, it can come from 5th to 3rd, or it can come from 6th to 3rd. But ground energy levels for that series is 3rd. Who will be the higher? 4th or 5th or 6th, right? And this Paschen series comes under near IR. Near IR. Who is lower energy here? 3rd. Higher energies can be greater than 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, or even higher, right? The next series is bracket. Who will be the ground energy level for bracket? Is it has to come to 4th. Come back to 4th means it has to be greater than 4th. 5th to 4th, 6th to 4th, or 7th to 4th. But finally it should reach to 4th energy level. Going from 1 towards higher numbers, energy gap still decreases. If energy decreases, wavelength increases, and in the region of light it goes towards near IR, middle IR, far IR. Even that is not visible to our own eye. So, you cannot even see Paschen series, bracket series, Pfund series. What you can see is only Balmer series, because that only falls under visible region. Before visible comes UV, after visible comes IR. So, first, 3rd, 4th, 5th you cannot see. You can only see Balmer series, because energy gap is in the middle, not much high, not much less, right? So, bracket means lower energy level is 4th, higher is 5th or 6th or 7th. Coming to the Pfund series, lower energy itself is 5th, means it has to come to 5th. From where? From further higher, 6th to 5th or 7th to 5th or 8th to 5th and so on. But the lower energy itself is so high that it is as 5th. That means what about higher energy? It has to be even higher. So, therefore, and that region falls under far IR. You cannot see near IR, you cannot see middle IR, and you cannot even see far IR, because near IR lower itself is 4th, higher is even more. Middle IR lower itself is 5th, higher is even more. Far IR lower itself is 6th, higher is even more. Therefore, these three regions falls under IR region of the electromagnetic waves. First one falls under UV region of the electromagnetic waves. Balmer only falls under visible region, because its energy is not much high. The more the gap is, energy is that much. If gap is more, energy is more. If the gap is less, energy is less, right? In the first difference, energy is very high. Therefore, wavelength will be very less. Our eye cannot see very less wavelength. Our eye cannot even see very high wavelength. What we can see? Human eye can see the wavelength which is under visible region, not much high, not much low. So, that is only for Balmer series. So, these are all the series, and each and every line has got some frequencies and its color. If it is visible, you can see. If it is not under visible range, you cannot see. What are the series? Lyman, ground is 1, higher are more than 1. Balmer, ground is 2, higher are more than 2. Passion, ground is 3, higher are more than 3. Bracket, ground is 4, higher are more than 4. P fund, ground is 5, higher are more than 5. Okay. Please copy down the diagrams and let us go to the next topic.